What is that thing that you are pointing at me?
You're talking about why it was called a movie, Papa.
No, I was trying to explain. Hello, everyone. I am Gatheon. I have come to talk to my daughter for a time. And then she clicks on this box and sticks it under my nose. So I guess I'm supposed to perform like a puppet now? Is that what I am here to do?
No, Papa. But when you talk about these things like why did they call it a movie, I thought other people might like to hear it.
Very well. I will speak of this. I don't know who else is listening, but I am Gatheon. It was my overlay of genetics that originally was designed to help Eridil become that which she is about to become today. I guess that's the best way to put it. And it also has unlocked some of her spirituality. And I have been, for many years, coming and speaking with her about many different things, as I consider her to be my daughter in many ways, especially through genetics. And her and Aya also have an understanding. I know that there are certain things I will not mention in this conversation, simply because they are beyond the realm of what some people need to know. But for the sake of those individuals that you deem a bit closer than others that you put on other social media, that what I have come to tell her today and to speak to her about are the events that have just about ready to transpire on this world on Terra, terra firma, or you can refer to it in many other names. There are many ancient names for this planet, depending on the race and how they perceive it, because there are many different variances of this world that exist. It is not just one plane of existence, but a multitudinous planes that intersect at this particular juncture in this particular galaxy, which is considered to be an off-galaxy, out of the mainstay of the Federation of Worlds, as they call themselves. You are now junior members. Congratulations. I believe they'll be handing out buttons soon, or something to that nature. I am one of the angelic corps. I don't care if you believe it or not. I really don't. I'm at this point that I don't give a damn what many of the humans, those that are actually human, and many of the demi-humans, we will call them, that takes into consideration all of them. Many of the demi-humans on this planet also perceive that they are human and believe either through their own programming. Michael said to mention a movie called Terminator Salvation.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were making machines that were, they believed that they were human up until they showed them that, look at you, you are not human, you are a machine. But as they say, there is a great and powerful ghost in the machine that exists. As Victoria's sponsor and genetic ancestor, is that not the correct term? I don't know if it... We are related. I say this because Victoria and I have played this role before, even on this planet, where I was her father.
Multiple times.
It is the only role I would ever play. I would never be her child. But I have played the role of her father on several other occasions, including in what you refer to as the first and the late second dynasties in Egypt.
Exactly, that's Kashti.
But that's Kashti. And I know it becomes strange that there are divergences, but at one time Victoria's soul energy was in union with Kashti, and that she and her were almost the same being. There was a mystical link between them, and allowed them to be connected together. It's time that they know some of your lineage, is it not?
Yes.
I believe that you've mentioned this before. And this is why even now when you channel Kashti, there is part of her now that diverged from you in an earlier time period where, very similar to what they try to fool you about evolution, where they talk about evolution, where, oh, we were all primates, and then there was a divergence where the primates separated, where one strain of primates continued, Michael was telling me this, and that another turned off to one side and eventually evolved into human, correct?
Yes.
But this is what they have confused with you, is they have told you what soul theory is, but they try to convince you that it is called evolution. This was a great lie, and this is information that people must know, Victoria. This should be something that would be on a main channel, as well as to those individuals, I guess, that you speak to on a regular basis. But I wanted them to know this, that this whole divergence concept arose from souls that have the ability to split off of part of themselves and to place part of themselves in other awarenesses and constructs so that you can experience a variety of different lives. Many of you are living multiple lives at different times right now. All of it is occurring on this planet. Past, present, and future all blend together. You are the same powerful soul in control of all of these other fragments of yourself. I know it gets confusing, but this is exactly what the Creator has done when he created more souls. The exact same thing. Father repeats his patterns. Do you not see this in the pattern of life?
Yes.
So, when I say that they call this a movie, the reason why they do it is because it truly is a movie, but now it is for the entertainment of the various fleets that have arrived while the work is being done.
Yeah.
I kid you not, it was an extension and a demand that was made by many of the non-terrestrials that certain events take place on this planet because they love Terra so much and everything that's been going on. They want to see this as a grand movie. Did you know that many of us non-terrestrials and off-worlders, as you refer to them, devote many countless hours to watching specific families and events and things that are happening on your planet the same way that all of you watch movies?
Mm-hmm.
That is why they call it the Great Movie, because it is being done not only to cover up what's going on. Many of these beings are participating in the removal of the dark beings on this planet, and they wanted to be entertained during the process. So they said, and I quote, "Make the whole damn thing a movie, and let's all be part of it, as we create and modify and change Terra into that which will be eternal again, and the true jewel of this quadrant of the galaxy, as I know you have heard others say." So that is part of the message I wish to deliver, primarily to you, Aradil, until you put this black box under my nose.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Papa. It's time for everybody to know. No more secrets. People are fed up. They want this. They want the movie to stop. We've done it for 2 years. It's enough.
That is good tea when he mixes the wild berry with the English breakfast tea that you have. You know I am particular about certain beverages.
Yeah.
Once I tried something that tasted like pig swill to me, but I'm not sure what it was. And Victoria assured me it was something classy and tasty, my goodness. What has happened to you people? You used to be such an aromatic and flavorful race. Now you are down to bland and tasteless things. Oh, the fruits and vegetables of ancient Egypt would rival the world today. I remember a time long ago across the sands. Oh my goodness, the things that we would enjoy. Even the hashish and other types of what you refer to today as marijuana.
Cannabis.
These cannabis, right?
I say cannabis because marijuana is a made-up name.
Yeah, that is correct, Victoria.
Yes.
So that but I wanted people to understand that these were standard fare in our day, and that such things were considered to be healing and aromatic. And many of these kinds of herbs and things, even far more potent, were burned, especially in temples, were they not, Victoria?
Absolutely, Papa. Yes, I have quite a few memories from Kashti about that time, and it was a different world. It was beautiful.
It was beautific and lovely, and filled with serene scents and odors, and there was a color and flavor that has long since passed, unfortunately, and now you've replaced it with steel and plastic and glass and dark roads and places of filth. It is terrible to us when we see these things. And when I come to speak to Victoria, I expect better to be happening on this planet soon, but not soon enough as it would seem. The time is growing short for them, and the time is growing long. It's going to be a beautiful spring and a lovely summer as things begin to emerge. Of course, there will still be many, many things taking place that are going to be difficult to deal with, but you at least will have other blessings to counterbalance most of this. It should be an exciting world again. It will be filled again with many great and wondrous things soon to come, as people will view this simply as off-world technology, but it goes far beyond that. It's going to be a wondrous place. So that is something that I can tell you, and have come as a messenger from Father to let all of you know this.
Thank you.
Initially my daughter, until she stuck this black box under my nose.
I apologize, Papa. But this was important information, and it's been very helpful. I'm sure people will find this extremely interesting, and when you and I want to have a personal chat, I'll just flip this thing off. It's that simple.
Yes, but now you have involved them, so we must continue if we're going to have a true discussion, Victoria.
Well, what else would you like to talk about then, Papa?
Well, I will not talk to you about Aviance, or Ariel, or Elizabeth, or some of the others that are in our family line that we often have discussions about.
They are my children.
They are her children in many forms. There are other ways to perceive these things as they continue to progress into the future, or that of which humanity and Terrans perceive as future. Yes, time does continue to move, but there are also going to be other realms of existence that you will be able to project into, where time is meaningless. Many of them have already been explained to you, that portals exist, especially through different types of reflective energetic fields, some of which are referred to as mirrors, which have always been used in different types of devices that wish to see beyond, because anything that casts a reflection has power to see into other places. The opposite of what the reflection sees is often the place that it will lead to.
Very true. So, are you enjoying that?
It's not bad for, swill, I must admit. But of course now everyone knows because of this little black box you put under my nose.
Is it really that bad, Papa? You want me to turn it off?
No, because now you ask this in public. I dare not say no for offending the people that come to listen to you. So I wanted to speak with you about these things, and I wanted to make sure that your heart was right with this particular time as things begin to open to not only fluidic space, but also the ethereal plane. And as you will all begin to pass into the fifth dimension, congratulations. As the wave passes over this planet, many of you will pass directly into the fifth with no need to worrying about death. You see, the Terrans have earned a great reward for the suffering. Many of you will survive to pass into the fifth dimension. For those of you that do not, well, let me be blunt and say good riddance. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be cruel, but there are some of you that just are not ready to pass into the fifth. But there are many of you that are, and the requirements are not that strict, not that burdensome. If you have a clean heart, and if you desire to improve, and if you're willing to follow Father and love Him with all your heart, and if you're willing to do good things, more good than evil, and if you haven't violated any of the truly corrupt and evil laws, like drinking children's blood, that's a big no-no and an automatic disqualification. You're going down a dimension, maybe 2 or 3, depending on what you are involved with. The crimes against children on this planet and their blood has cried out from the darkness and has angered Father like never before. You may do whatever you wish to each other as fully grown and mature souls, but you will not touch the innocent. And those that are mind-wiped and brought back again to childhood are innocent.
Yes.
And the evil done to them will be repaid. That much I can promise you.
That was one of the covenants across this planet that have been broken. I think just about every one of them were broken. The covenants with the Oceanics were broken. The covenants about our children were broken.
There are many of the Oceanics that are extremely powerful. They may only be limited, some of them, to the 8th dimension, but many of them are in much higher dimensions and wander the entire multiverse, swimming through the sea. You do not need oxygen to exist as a higher level dimensional being, and you may pass through space and time almost at will at those levels, of course. That should be something that most understand. But many of them are manifesting on the lower dimensions to clean them. There are energetic beings of the great and total tide wave that they have been preparing, and these beings in particular are the ones that can see through the various oceans of space and time. They are their own sect. They are part of the Oceanics, but they swim through space and time, and they cleanse the universe in their wake, much the way a large ship that passes in the night would leave its wake upon its brothers beside it. This is what is taking place across this particular quadrant of the galaxy at this time, and that there are many great cleanups going on. And in fact, your world would be in a much darker place, even now, if it weren't for the good works of many beings over the last several hundred years. Predominantly over the last 15 is when most of the work has been done.
That's good. Glad to have the end of it. Really nice. It's been a long struggle. I know there are a lot of people out there who are right there on that end part of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Hello, Gatheon. There's a lot of them. My name's Simon. There's a lot of them that are at their wits' end.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are sad and they get weighed down with this.
To those individuals, I would say I completely understand. I have been there at the lowest points of depravity in my own life many, many years ago. But over time, we gain wisdom and we learn how to control our emotions. And we also learn how to be something better than we currently are now, because we should always be striving to become better than we are. It is the thing that makes it worth being a being in Father's army. And it's something that you must come to understand, that we are all an extension of Father to one degree or another, even the dark ones, the ones that refuse to understand that Father's will and connectivity, they call him Source, which is really the lowest connective form of energy with Father, but it flows freely, so they call it Source, and that you can connect with it and begin to feel the expressions of Father and be able to speak to Father directly. It's sort of like having a one-way intercom with Father, and occasionally he'll speak back and give you ideas and information. But as your journey progresses with Father, he goes from being Source to being the Great Spirit and being your Father, your Heavenly Father. When you open your heart as well as your mind, you see, because a mind can be open to Source, but only a heart can be open to Father or Mother. And that is why you must bring your heart to the table as well, and you must offer your heart to Father in a loving way. This is not anything that would ever be in the guise of evil, even though Father insists that we have an understanding of evil. I know you've talked of this.
Yes.
The knowledge of darkness that all must carry in order to be truly aware and able to understand the importance and how to be a truly divinely good being. Yes.
We've had that conversation. But yeah, you're such a wise, such a wise Papa. I'm very fortunate to have you.
Yeah, you're trying to butter me up again.
No, Papa.
That's what she does, everyone. No, but Victoria's quite wise herself. Well, consider the genetics, of course. But I want her to understand something, too, and I love all of you out there for listening, that it's not just good enough to be wise. You must also be kind. You must also be good. You must also give of your heart and see the best in all of those around you, but also recognize that there are those that if you cast your pearl before swine, they will turn and rend you.
Yes.
That is also the balance, and that is also where wisdom comes from, because it must be good enough to govern and good enough to bless all of those in your wake as well.
Very true. You want me to turn this off now?
Thank you, Gatheon. It's always nice to hear from you. And I know you probably want to talk more of Victoria off this thing.
Yeah.
So, but I just come by and say hi, everybody. And we love you all. And that's the interview with Gatheon.
We'll
Okay,
talk to you
everybody?
later, guys.
We'll talk to you
Thank you
again.
for
Don't
listening.
worry. If something really good we want to talk about, we'll turn this damn thing back on again.
Bye-bye.